Megan and welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I've got 3 easy and delicious recipes to share with you that would be perfect for Thanksgiving, whether you're hosting or whether you're needing something to take to someone else's house. Today's video is also part of a Friendsgiving collab hosted by Sammy over at Managing the Maze. I'll have a link to Sammy's channel as well as to the collab playlist linked down in my description box below. So as soon as you're done watching my video, make sure you head on over and check out the other videos. I know there will be lots of yummy recipes. First up, we're making my Aunt Sue's corn and green bean casserole. Now, I know you may be saying, green bean casserole, Megan, we already know how to make this. But this is a different variation on just your standard green bean casserole. It's really yummy. I hope you give it a try. Here's what we're going to use to make it. We've got a can of corn, French-style green beans, sour cream. Now, Aunt Sue's recipe calls for a can of cream of celery soup, but if you've watched my videos for a while, you know I detest celery, so sorry, Aunt Sue, but I'm going to use cream of mushroom soup. I've got some salt and pepper, onion, shredded cheese, butter, Ritz crackers, and then some slivered almonds. My oven is preheating to 350 degrees. In this bowl, I have my chopped onions. Now, you could just leave them raw like the recipe says, but when I make casseroles, I prefer my onions to be a little cooked. So I just pop these into the microwave for a couple minutes until they started to get tender. I'm then going to add my drained green beans and corn. Then the can of cream soup, sour cream, the salt and pepper, the slivered almonds, and the shredded cheese, and I'm going to stir that until it's combined really well. While I do that, quick story time. So my Aunt Sue is my dad's sister. There are 6 kids, 3 boys, 3 girls, kind of like the Brady Bunch. But I've mentioned before that my dad's mom, my grandma Lois, had breast cancer when I was young. And unfortunately, she passed away from it. But her 2 daughters, 2 of my dad's sisters, are also breast cancer survivors, Aunt Sue being one of them. So I love my Aunt Sue. She's a very sweet lady, and she and the other women in my family, on both sides, not just my dad's side, my mom's side as well, are just very strong and resilient women, and I'm very grateful to have them, as part of my family. And I'm grateful that through YouTube, I'm able to, kind of share their recipes as well, the few that I have from my family. So I've got that mixed up. I'm going to put it into a greased casserole dish. Once I've done that, I'm going to crush up my Ritz crackers, melt the butter, and add the butter and Ritz cracker mixture to the top of the casserole. This is going to go into the preheated oven and bake for about 30 to 40 minutes. Once it's bubbly and the Ritz crackers get golden brown, you're done. Now, I was busy and was talking this day, and my crackers got a little bit brown, but that's all right. It was still delicious. Now, I really enjoyed this casserole. The slivered almonds, I wasn't so sure about it at first. I was like, meh, but I loved the little crunch that it gave it. I mean, if you think about it, you've got the soft, green beans, the soft soup, and so it's really nice to have that little crunch in there. So I hope you give this a try. Next up, I tried a new recipe for an apple, pear, and cranberry coleslaw. Now, I know, for Thanksgiving, most of us aren't really concerned about counting our calories that day. We're a little indulgent. There's a lot of carbs, a lot of rich, heavy dishes, and then, of course, you got to have your dessert. But I know that doesn't apply to everyone. Some people are trying to watch what they eat. They have certain dietary restrictions or for whatever reason. So I wanted to put something in that is a little on the lighter side, a little more healthy. This is a great option to serve, at your Thanksgiving if you're hosting for all of your guests. That way you have something for everyone, but it's also something to take somewhere, like if you're having a Friendsgiving, or, you're just taking it to a family member's house or something, because it's good for vegetarians or all kinds of diets. So let me show you what you need. For the coleslaw, we're going to use some sliced almonds, dried cranberries, coleslaw mix. This is just shredded cabbage and carrots, but of course, if you prefer to shred your own vegetables, do that. An apple, pear, some shredded carrots, and green onions. Here are the ingredients for the dressing: apple cider vinegar, salt and pepper, Greek yogurt. Now, I'm using non-fat, but you can use full fat if you'd like. Dijon mustard, mayonnaise, and you could use a vegan mayonnaise here, And then you need some sort of sweetener. Now I'm just using plain granulated sugar. You could use a sugar substitute. You could use honey or agave or maple syrup, whatever you prefer. Now, this is really easy. We're first going to start out by making the dressing. So to a bowl, I'm going to add in the Greek yogurt, mayonnaise, sugar, apple cider vinegar, Dijon mustard, salt and pepper to taste, and I'm going to stir that until it's combined really well. Now, once we get the coleslaw completely done, the recipe says to cover it and to chill it for about 30 minutes before you serve it. Now, I made this the night before, and it was fine. It was really good, actually. The only thing I would suggest is if you're going to make it prior to like 30 minutes before you're going to serve it, if you make it the day before or morning before, wait and hold off on adding the almonds until you're closer to ready to serve it. To a large bowl, I'm going to add in the coleslaw mix and then the matchstick carrots. Then the dried cranberries. Next, I'm going to add the sliced almonds and then my pear and apple. Now, you could shred these. I just peeled them and cut out the core and seeds and then just diced them finely. But whatever your preference is, just make it easy on yourself. Next, I'm going to add in my green onions. I washed and dried these and then just chopped them up. I'm going to combine all of that really well. And then the final step is just to pour on the dressing. Give it one last stir until it's mixed together really, really well. And then this is going to get covered. And like I said, the recipe said to chill this for about 30 minutes. But if you're making it the day or night before, like I said, I would just leave out the almonds until you're ready to serve it. And here's the finished coleslaw. This was a yummy, light, refreshing side dish. And again, perfect for Thanksgiving. It's got your fall flavors in there with the cranberries and the pears and the apples. So I definitely recommend you all give this a try. Last but not least, we're going to make something sweet. Now, I toyed with making, a baked dessert, a pie, or a cake or something, but I decided to go for these candy turkeys. There are a couple reasons for that. So one, I don't know if your crew is like ours, but it seems like when it's time for dessert, we're all so full, we're not really ready for pie. We normally eat the pies like later in the day. So one, I thought these would be great if you're like us and maybe you just want something a little sweet, but not a big piece of pie. Second of all, these are super kid friendly. And third of all, if you want to take something sweet, but you're not a baker, you're not really comfortable in the kitchen really, these would be perfect. So let me show you how to make these so easy. First, I've got some mini pretzel twists, candy corn for the feathers of the turkey. I've got some Rolos, and I also had some mini Reese's peanut butter cups left over from Halloween, so I'm going to try those. For the beaks, I am using some M&Ms. I'm going to pick out the yellow and orange for the beaks. And then for the turkey's waddle, I'm using some Twizzlers. I'm just going to pull off some pieces, and then I've got candy eyes. I've got the oven preheating to 250 degrees. Here I've got a cookie sheet that I lined with some parchment paper. I'm going to take my pretzel twists and add them to the cookie sheet and kind of space them out. And you want to turn the salted part down towards the cookie sheet. Now I have a plate that I've added all of my candies to. You want to go ahead and get prepped, like unwrap your Rolos, set everything out, because once these come out of the oven, you do want to move kind of quickly so your chocolate doesn't harden back up on you. I'm going to take one of the unwrapped Rolos and place them on the bottom of the twists. And I did the same thing with the Reese's cups. This is going to go into the preheated oven, and these just need to bake for maybe 1 or 2 minutes until the chocolate starts to harden. Now, like I said, we're going to move kind of quickly and place the eyes on, then the M&Ms for the beak, their little waddle, and then we're going to take some of the candy corn and make the little feathers. And then that's it. Like I said, so easy. Now, a couple quick notes. One, I wouldn't suggest using the Reese cups. They were a little big, so I wouldn't do that again. I would just stick with the Rolos. You may be able to try Hershey's Kisses. I'm not really sure. And second note, I would suggest that when you lay down the pretzels, before you add the Rolo, I would go ahead and add the candy corn and then add the Rolo. It was a little hard to stick the candy corn into the Rolo. It kind of kept sliding around. So like I said, I would lay down the pretzel, lay down the candy corn, add the Rolo, pop it into the oven, and then finish decorating the little faces. But aren't these super, super cute? Our next door neighbors, they're so adorable. They are triplets. They're 3 little girls, and they are, I think they're 4 years old. So we made these and took them next door, and the little girls loved them. So I know your family or your guests will love these as well. They're super cute and festive. All right, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you try one or all of these recipes. And again, make sure you check out Sammy's channel and the collab playlist. Again, it'll be in my description box below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.